Welcome to Engineering Ethics Online. My name is Mark Vopat and I will be your instructor for this course. There are two main things that we'll be covering in engineering ethics. One will be ethical theory and the second is ethics in the practice of engineering. So the first part of the course will really deal with sort of setting an ethical foundation, looking at ethical theories, basic ethical concepts that we'll be using throughout the rest of the course. The second part of the course is really about ethics in engineering specifically, looking at different aspects of how ethics enters into engineering thinking and engineering reasoning. So let me go over a few basics. First, how to get in touch with me. I give you several ways of getting in touch with me throughout the term. My office is in DeBartolo Hall, 411. I will be posting office hours on the Blackboard site to let you know when those hours will be held this semester. I'll also be holding online office hours. Those will also be posted online. Those are generally done with a live stream video where you can type me a question and then I can answer that question live. So I don't actually have to type back. You can just pop into the online office, ask me a question, and then I'll respond to you through audio video. I'll also be using Blackboard email. So if you have a message that you need to send me, you can send it through the Blackboard email. My preferred way of contact for anything that is not extremely important would be to use the YSU email. So my email address there listed on the site. It's also listed on the Blackboard site. If you do need to reach me in an emergency sort of situation, something that can't wait for email or for the Blackboard mail or so on, you can reach me at my home phone. This is actually not my home phone, so I'll be completely honest with you. It is a Google voicemail account. It will you call there and it will ask for you to state your name. Once that's done, it'll forward it through to my phone and then I'll be able to answer it. Or if I'm unable to take the call, you can leave a message there and I'll get back to you. So here's what you need for the course. Fortunately for you, the only readings that we'll be doing will come from PDFs that I've posted on the Blackboard site. So you will not have to purchase any text for this. This is because a sort of friend and colleague of mine at the Rochester Institute of Technology has put together a new book, Error Provocative Designs, Ethics in Engineering, by Wade Robeson. Dr. Robeson was kind enough to allow me to use his textbook in our class. It's been broken up into separate chapters that I've posted as PDFs in each of the modules that you'll see on on Blackboard. So the book to you is actually free. I would ask that if you find any errors, typos, Dr. Robeson is currently searching for a publisher for this book. So if there are any errors in the book, if you want to send me those via email, it'd be much appreciated on his part to help him out with looking for the going through the sort of an initial edit of the book. Software you'll need. For most of you, this will not be a problem. There is a written assignment. During the course, there will be several discussion board posts, but you'll also be required to do a case study. So for that case study, you will need some sort of word processing software, Word, Pages, OpenOffice, Abbey Word, whatever it is you choose to use. I'll discuss the written assignments on the Blackboard site under the case study section. But if you do need some sort of word processing software, if you don't have some, which I find hard to believe at this point in the 21st century, but if you don't, there are some free alternatives, OpenOffice and Abbey Word, and of course your standard Word and Pages. Formats. I am a bit particular on format. If you're going to submit something via Blackboard, I would prefer it as a plain text document, a doc, docx, RTF. I will also accept PDF. Please do not submit anything in the WKS, the Works format. This is incredibly hard to open. I don't have Works on my computer, so I prefer it in one of those other 4 formats or as a PDF. So there's some recommended software I have for the course. It's probably best if you do not use Internet Explorer when viewing these videos. So if you find that you're having trouble with videos, viewing some of the video lectures, that's probably because you're using Internet Explorer. If you My preferred browser is either the Chrome, Firefox. For PC users, for Mac users, Safari does a very good job with the videos. You will also need to make sure you have the QuickTime Player installed on your machine. If you have iTunes, then you most likely have the most current version. If you don't use iTunes, and you're going to want to make sure that you download the QuickTime Player and install it. And that will allow your browser, whether it's Chrome or Safari or Firefox, to use the QuickTime plugins if needed. Course requirements. There are 3 main requirements in the course. The first are the quizzes. There are 10 quizzes, although there are 12 modules that you're responsible for. Only 10 of the modules actually have quizzes. The other 2 modules are case studies. So there are 10 quizzes at 10 points each for a total of 100 points. There are 2 written assignments. Each of those written assignments are 20 points apiece for a total of 40 points. And then there's a posting to the discussion board, again, for each of those 10 modules at 5 points each for a total of 50 points. So the total possible points for the course is 190 points. In addition to this, I generally give an extra credit assignment. Now, normally this extra credit assignment consists of going to a lecture on campus that's sponsored by the philosophy department. We usually bring in a speaker once or twice a year. If you are unable to make the on-campus speaker, I normally offer an alternate extra credit, usually something that I post on the Blackboard site. But I will let you know more about the extra credit or what I decide in terms of the extra credit assignment as the course goes on. Tips for success. There are a few things that you can do to increase your success in this course. First, please contact me at the first signs of trouble with the course material, technical questions. Please make sure that you do not wait until midway through the course or the end of the course to tell me that you were unable to watch certain videos, or you couldn't do the readings, or couldn't access the PDFs, or something along those lines. So it's important that you contact me at the first sign of trouble and not wait till the last minute. Also, regularly check for course announcements. I use the Blackboard course announcement system for clarifications. I also use the announcement system to comment on the discussion posts. So while I'll sometimes make comments in individual discussion posts, sometimes I'll post a completely new discussion or thread in the discussion. Generally, I use the course announcement section to talk about the current discussion, or maybe 2 or 3 discussions. I will post up there sort of my thoughts on it, or what I'm looking for in a good discussion, or just things for you to think about. So after you've already posted your discussion, there are things that you might not have seen, and I sort of comment on those generally what people were saying in the discussion posts. You also want to regularly check your Blackboard email, although I tend to use the YSU email system more. The group email system that we have now implemented, there are times when I will respond to everyone via Blackboard email. So you should at least take a look in there every few days just to make sure that there are no messages from me. I do believe Blackboard will forward a message to your YSU email, but just in case something goes wrong and that doesn't happen, you want to make sure you're checking the Blackboard mail. Contribute to the general discussion board. If there are issues you have with the course, you can contact me. But if you have general sorts of things that you want to talk about, questions about how people study, whatever, there's a general discussion section, which is good to just sort of reach out and contact your fellow students to talk about material, talk about issues with the course.